mid Shadow Fiend, and well, the ban coming out is going to be the AA again. We did see Secret ban that away from Empire in the previous game, in fact, and again a hero that added into a Rubik Gyro tri-lane can be pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I think this is a worthwhile ban. Again, it's the AA ban from them. The one thing Empire could still consider doing here if they want to is the Undying, which was a commonly picked hero for them throughout the group stage. I think it's worth not first two picking it since Secret have shown they can deal with it. But, ooh, they deny the Clockwork from Secret. They pick it up as their third pick when it was left in the pool. This also allowed them to get an extra ban in. So they ban out the Brood from Zai, they ban out Kuro's Naga, and then they don't have to worry about Zai picking up Clockwork because they take it themselves before he can do so.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be interesting to see what they do decide to put Zai on. I believe Clockwork and to be fair, the Tusk are two of the heroes that we've seen him on the most. Heroes like the Darkseer are still available, and a hero as well that could work very nicely in a lineup with a Quap and an SF.
Yeah, so I think it's just a good kind of disruptive hero. I mean, we've seen what Zai can do in it in past games, and the Clockwork really acts as a nice little counter. So Secret here, we'll see how greedy they want to get. If they go back to something like one of the puppy junglers, the Enigma, or if it's going to be a different direction. But, right now, Empire could have very strong lanes, good roamers, and I think picking up junglers is maybe not going to be a go-to move, at least not with the third pick here. We'll see if that's what Secret have in mind. But again, Enigma not great against Rubik. I don't think you want to tempt fate by giving Aloha Dance another big spell to be sealing in a team fight.
I mean, with the S4, well, sorry, with the Shadow Fiend and the Quad picked up, it's actually going to be the Undying. Now, this is a hero that we do see, I've got to be honest, probably more so on the side of Empire than on the side of Secret. It's been banned out a lot against the side. This time they'll get it through the draft, and I believe earlier was talking with Winter just about the potency of a Quap Undying lane, which is almost certainly what we're going to expect if we do see Artur taking the Shadow Fiend mid and S4 taking the Quap to a side lane.
Yeah, the main other thing they could consider doing is the offlane Undying. Like Vici Gaming run mostly Ice on Undying, and that's something Secret might consider with this pick. Because like you say, it's mostly been Empire who run the Undying, and I'm not as confident in the way that Secret use the Undying as a support. I feel like maybe it's going to be something that they rather throw at Zai and have him play as that pesky offlaner, but we'll see. As things flesh out with their next couple of picks, it'll become more clear. For now, Empire still need their mid laner, still need another support to go with the Rubik, and they want the Witch Doctor. It's still available as a support. Not quite as good against the Mobile Queen of Pain, but still there's nothing in the way of disables and lockdown yet for Team Secret. They have got absolutely zero stuns.
Fourth pick now for the side of Empire. And I mean, looking at Secret Draft, what they're composing so far, and Empires, do you think if it is going to be a tri-lane from Empire involving the Gyro and the Rubik, with the Undying picked up, do you think Secret will look to try and take on that tri-lane with a tri-lane of their own, or will they just look to dodge it?
I think they're more likely to look to dodge it. They'll probably send someone just tanky and durable up to the off lane, be it the Undying, or maybe they get someone like a Spirit Breaker for Zai. Something that just looks to stay alive, leech experience. Empire, though, pick up Bane, and they have got very strong lanes. Both Bane and Rubik offer a lot of ganking and roaming potential. It can put a lot of pressure on the mid lane on Arteezy's Shadow Fiend. They can also split up. They don't have to roam together. You can have the Rubik zoning out whoever's in the off lane, and the Bane can then go to the mid lane, throw out an Enfeeble or two, give the Shadow Fiend a rough time last hitting. A lot of options for the Empire support duo. Very flexible, plenty of control with Bane having Grip and Nightmare, Rubik having Telekinesis, Spellsteal, and this is where I feel Secret are a lot more limited with whatever they can do with their supports, because so far they've got no disables. They really need to start making up for that with whatever they're picking as their fourth and fifth hero.
Yeah, I mean, one of the heroes that we have seen a lot by Secret is, I was going to say it's the CM, but this time they're going to opt for the Keeper of the Light. And that, of course, for Puppy, we'd imagine one of those heroes that they've been having a lot of success with, but still, it kind of does continue with the issue that you were talking about. It doesn't really have a hard disable for the side of Secret still.
Yeah, they're going to make up for that, I think, by just doing a lot of five-man pushes. This is going to be... I mean, I think it's kind of a Secret style where they don't necessarily pick up a lot of disables. It's not necessarily... I mean, it's a weakness in their draft, but it's not something that can always be exploited. If they play a play style where, for one thing, there's no Empire heroes that's like, oh man, we've got to lock this hero down. There's no Storm or Weaver type pick. And those kind of heroes can have their weaknesses themselves. Like, Weaver can't do anything against a five-man push. Storm is also really bad against five-man push. So the kind of heroes that thrive when there's no disables aren't good against the playstyle that Secret will play. So they kind of can get away with not having disables by their playstyle, which is going to be playing greedy in the lane stage. Like we see Puppey normally on the Keeper of the Light jungle lock get levels, but once they hit the timing where they have mech, they group up, they push tier 1 towers, and they take a lot of objectives. They're really good at letting these games not drag on to the late game where they get punished for not having disables. By 20 to 30 minutes, they're taking all the outer towers, they're taking Roshan, and they're threatening the high ground. And that's really where Secret are really good at executing around this kind of a strategy.
All right, Empire with this final pick. Now, the final ban they did take away was the Kuroki Bounty Hunter support, which could have been a very likely pick for Secret. I mean, with the Bane pick, do you think this could maybe be setting us up for something like a Mirana from Empire?
It's going to be a mid lane. I think Mirana may be a bit weak in the lane stage. I like Wind Ranger a bit against the Shadow Fiend. I mean, you need someone to go mid against Shadow Fiend. Wind Ranger is the one big one that stands out to me. Bristleback is also a possibility. They ran OD back in game 1, but I don't like the OD against the 5-man group up and push and the amount of heal and sustain on the Secret side. I think we need something with a bit more firepower, which is where I think Wind Ranger is solid. If they want to take towers and push themselves, they could get something like the Dragon Knight, but this is a tough spot to be in. There isn't really any clear, obvious mid laner that will match up well against Shadow Fiend and be great against pushes. I think the Wind Ranger being the one that kind of stands out the most to me.
Oh, here we go. The final 14 seconds for Empire to decide what they want to take here for resolution in that mid lane. It's going to be the Leshrac. Surprisingly, a hero that's...
still in the pool.
We kind of, I was going to say, it's been forgotten about this series, and Empire able to sneak it through as the final pick.
Well, that's handy. That's a good pick. Matches up pretty evenly mid against the Shadow Fiend. There isn't many roaming heroes on the Secret side to punish the Leshrac, and they've also protected it with that Bounty Hunter ban, so you don't have to worry about Bounty coming into play. So very strong mid laner. Also has 2 setups in the Bane, the Rubik, and even the Clockwork as a potential 3rd setup in the mid game with Hookshot into Cogs. So plenty of control to play around with for the Split Earth, for allowing Leshrac to just run in and get a Pulse Nova. And this was a dream last pick for Empire. I think this is actually a really good Empire draft. And I don't know what Secret are last picking here, but I think for the most part, slightly favoring Empire's draft here that they put together.
Yeah, I mean, imagining, looking at Secret side, so you imagine that Zai will probably be playing at the Undying, and we're still just looking for Kuroki's hero here.
I think it works both ways. I think if they were on the Undying as a support, that'd be more so if there was an offlane they really wanted. If they wanted a bit more teamfight, I think Darkseer works really nicely. You set up the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, the Requiem, you have a huge AoE combo, and you have another hero who can buy a pipe for the team. Like SF goes for the mech, Darkseer goes for the pipe, Keeper Light goes for the Ag Scepter, and then suddenly you have crazy heal from the mech, from the Illuminate, as well as the pipe to block the nuke damage coming out of the Leshrac. But it will be the Undying as an offlane. Undying's also a pipe buy. He just doesn't farm as well as the Darkseer does, so it could be a much slower pipe coming out from Undying. But Witch Doctor, it's more heals, it's more sustain. Secret want a 5-man, they want to group up. They don't care about picking up Disable. I mean, Cask is not really a true lockdown or a useful... I mean, it's a useful teamfight spell that it does stun some things, but it's not like a let's target this hero and you've got a good 2 to 3 second stun on him. This is just a hero that's being picked up more for the sustain that he's going to bring to the table and the teamfight aspect that Secret are going to be putting a lot of emphasis on.
Okay, and I mean, in terms of lanes, do you think they will simply send Zai up on his own, or might we see some kind of dual lane situation coming up from Secret?
I think it's hard to dual lane against this trial lane we're seeing here. Bane, Rubik, Gyrocopter can beat most lanes that Secret could throw at them. Yeah. I guess Secret could aggro trial lane with the Coddle, Witch Doctor, and Undying, but a lot of risk in that. If that backfires, suddenly your lanes have fallen apart, and I guess at that point, if your lanes fall apart, Coddle just says, okay, I'm going to go to the jungle. Witch Doctor goes and does pulls at bottom lane, and Undying's left on his own. So we'll possibly see that as an option for Secret. But the safer option is to just run the Coddle kind of in the jungle, the Witch Doctor zoning out the Clockwork, and go for a more standard setup.
Indeed. And anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we go for the 4th game of this best-of-5 series here between Secret and Empire. The scoreboard has been corrected. I can confirm this is the correct score now. 2 games favoring the side of Secret and 1 favoring the side of Empire. And Empire, oh, they want some level 1 action. They've certainly got the lineup to deal with it. And Empire, can they catch anyone out here? Oh, they're going to miss S4 here. Oh.
They saw him, but it's a hard kill because he's got Blink. And they're not even going to get the telekinesis.
Yeah, just a little bit too far away. Resolution just hiding, seeing if S4 does come around to have a look, but no, S4 is going to be safe here for the time being. It looks like Empire, they're still going to hang around here. Maybe hoping to cross across here in the mid lane, but it's going to be hard to find anything else, and they will just simply get a ward down here just to check out, and of course to deal with the potential of Puppey heading into the jungle a bit with that Kotlin. Looks like they want to contest this top room because they really want to look for a fight at level 1 Empire.
They've got a great lineup to do so. Apart from the Undying's a problem.
Oh, Resolution here with the cast. The defensive Nightmare will buy him some time, and now the Nightmare toggle off trying to get Leshrac out there. Oh, the uphill miss chance. Oh, the Decay will fly through from Zion. They will get the kill, but only just Empire nearly getting away with that one, but still. Secret finding the first blood, and Shadow Fiend getting the bounty rune, and also Quap. So all in all, a good start there for Secret in terms of runes and kills.
Yeah, just using the high ground to their advantage. I think Empire have the better level 1 fighting lineup, but Secret had the better positioning. They used the high ground. They got off a Decay before the fight even began, and then they have a secondary Decay to throw out as well. Also, Puppey hit the big Illuminate at the rune. He's continuing to throw Illuminate. Top lane Silent is not going to have fun because of his short attack range, because of the nature of Rocket Barrage where you have to get in nice and close. He's going to take right clicks from the Witch Doctor, from the Keeper of the Light, and take Illuminates constantly if he tries to farm.
On the other lanes as well, so you got RTZ up against the Leshrac. I mean, the Lesh mid should be able to do pretty well against this SF in terms of zoning him out.
Yeah. Should be pretty good until SF gets bottle out, starts getting souls, and SF already has the money for his bottle, which is being carried out, so it should be a pretty close matchup, maybe slightly Leshrac favored. Top lane, meanwhile, they've gone in and always want to fly. Another Decay comes out, 1 or 2 more right clicks. Kuro not going to be enough. Actually, just barely gets the kill, though. Blast gets him.
Very nicely done by
Puppey. With the Nightmare. The big thing for Arteezy mid lane is he can't use the jungle neutral camps to catch up. He's had his big camp blocked off, so all he can do is farm the medium camp, which isn't quite as good and it just doesn't really help his economy as much as that big camp does, obviously.
Indeed not. Top lane trying to harass back Zai here with a flat cannon Silent, and always want to fly just position himself here on the side, seeing if he can get a jump in. But still, bottom lane, how's Yoku doing? Well, up against this Quap. Yoku at the moment 3 for 1, 4 for 4 on S4. So, well, the Clock actually doing pretty well against the Queen of Pain in her lane. You kind of expect the Quap to come out on top.
Yeah, Quap not really dominating so hard. Struggling to last it under the tower as well. This has not been an incredibly Queen of Pain favored matchup so far. So that's good news for Yoku, who's holding his own for the most part. Other good news for the tri lane up top for Empire is they did deward the lane ward that Secret had in that top lane. That sentry makes it a lot harder for Puppey to hit these Illuminates on the hero sitting behind at the tower.
Indeed, and CS-wise, Silent's still looking pretty healthy. I mean, top of the board for Empire, it is both the Lesh and the Gyro. Resolution in the mid lane, 17 for 6 against the 8 for 0 of Arteezy. So that, of course, on top of the fact, as you said, the way that they blocked up this camp is going to make it very hard for Artor to come back into this game, and Empire realizing that Arteezy's SF is something you need to be very scared about, because we've seen some very crazy performances from the kids so far this tournament.
Yeah, but just one ward is going to prevent a lot of his comeback potential, and Resolution, there's no support help because of the aggro tri-lane, so Secret is just stuck with this SF, kind of losing this mid lane. Leshrac in a great position here as Arteezy now going to start throwing out raises, best to be very careful that he doesn't get hit by a stun.
And what we're seeing in terms of CS for Zai, so we've also got Zai farming here on this off lane. He's got 10 so far. He's just behind Silence still there, and I feel like this start, even though they've given away 2 kills, Empire, they're really holding their own here in the laning stage.
Yeah, even just Yoku in the offlane, he's hitting S4 with the cogs constantly. S4's out of mana until he gets a bottle up. S4 doesn't really have much kill potential in this lane, and Yoku, again, okay, misses that cogs as I say that, but overall he's doing a really good job in bottom.
Top lane, Secret, they're hungry for action here. Puppey just trying to disrupt the pull here with the Illuminate, and he's doing a good job of it as well, ensuring that the creeps come around here and are fed straight into Zai. A lot of pings coming out here. The Secret trying to set something off, and well, hang on, Zai's going to be left alone here. He's out of mana. There'll be a cast flying through. He'll pop the one stick charger, sorry. And now they're trying to turn it around, Secret. They're looking for Illuminates. A level 1 is it going to be enough? Oh, the Nightmare. He's going to keep him alive for a little bit. He toggles it off. He might get away. No, he won't. The final right click does fly through there from Puppey. And again, these Illuminates allowing them to find these kills here in this tri lane.
Yeah, Puppey has hit so many Illuminates, and this is just level 1 on this spell. But he's had constant clarities on himself. He has the chakra as well. He's been sustaining this spam. And Empire just chewing through regen like nothing. And it's really hurting them in this top lane, even though they're CSing pretty well. There's a lot of money and investment just on the HP regen aspect. And Gyrocopter is just unable to get the good farm that he'd hoped for.
Tombstone's going to be dropped in with Voodoo Restoration and Decay. They're trying to go in, but it'll just push back the side of Empire here on this top lane. And I think RTZ is realizing that this count's blocked. He's trying to stack up this one here, but he's having a bit of trouble with it so far. And still the CS, he's managing to catch up a little bit, but Resolution is still about 11 ahead. Looking very good on this Leshrac in the mid lane.
CS-wise, he's behind, but I think for a Shadow Fiend, he's actually only about 300 and a 350, maybe 400 net worth behind the Leshrac. So yeah, percentage-wise, it's a pretty big deal, but he shouldn't fall any further behind. He should be able to get most of the creeps every wave from now on just by throwing out razors. He can bottle crow to sustain it. So the gap between these two is going to get closer and closer. So even though Leshrac dominated the first 5 minutes, I don't think it's going to stay that way unless the supports start rotating, which is still very possible. You've got Rubik at Fountain, actually smoked up from Fountain. It looks like they're going to go for a gank towards the mid lane. We'll see exactly what Empire have in mind as they TP both Gyrocopter and Rubik towards mid.
And they really want to make sure that RTC doesn't have his day-to-day silent leading in. And, well, the smoke's going to be dispelled. RTC, oh, there's a double damage here. Oh, he is going to be able to grab it as well, but it might not matter with the telekinesis and the Fade Bolt. And, well, Silent, he backs himself away because this double damage Shadow Fiend's going to be punching. And, oh, there we go. Setting up the split off. They will be able to bring down Arteezy, but can the side of Secret find a trade here in terms of bringing down this Bane? Zai, he's trying to move in front of here for the body block, but well, always want to fly. Keep tabs him in the cask. Will fly through the Illuminate as well. This should be enough damage. One more Soul Rip will seal the deal. Zai finds the kill in return. But still, Empire, they're going to be happier with that trade, taking down Arteezy and only losing a Bane on the side of themselves.
Yeah, we've seen what a farm Leshrac can do. TC knows it all too well after the Game 2 stomp that he put on his Shadow Fiend. It's Resolution who's looking fantastic here. Treads bottled the Null Talisman up, and he's going to continue his dominance. And that was a nice rotation. Gyrocopter couldn't get anything out of the top lane, wasn't farming, so he says, okay, I can't farm the lane, let's go farm some heroes. He makes a gank and gets at least some area of effect gold out of that kill. And the other good news is now he doesn't have to keep ganking. Now Yoku can kind of soak up some of the pressure and start rotating on Clockwork because he has hit level 6. Hookshot is available. And you team up Clockwork and Leshrac now and they can get kills anywhere on the map, it feels like.
Let's see where Yoku decides to go here with his first hookshot. Is he just going to head back down to the bottom? No, it looks like he's just going to make the walk down there. Top lane, Secret are able to take down this tier 1 here. So a bit more gold swinging in their favour.
Yeah, the important thing for Clockwork is he's walking back to bottom lane, so he has the TP available. So he can quickly TP to mid or top. Problem is right now, there's the only heroes they see on the map is 3 heroes top and the Queen of Pain bottom. The kill he wants to go for is Shadow Fiend. He doesn't know where Shadow Fiend is on the map. He assumes Shadow Fiend's in the jungle, but until a kill presents itself, Yoku's just going to hold on to the TP.
Here we go, Empire, they're smoked up. Always want to fly. Looking to set something up for the side. Resolution's coming in as well. S4, look how deep he is. The hook shot there with the stun. Can they get the Nightmare? No, S4's going to be able to blink away. He's looking for the TP. Will he make it? They're looking for him. Oh, the split off. It was on point, but he just TPs out before it connects. Oh, and it looked like he was just on the edge. I think that would have connected. It looked very close. But even so, it didn't matter. The TP was there in time.
That's such a hard kill to get. It's only a 1-second stun on hookshot. You have to chain the hook with either a Nightmare or a Split Earth, so you can chain stun S4 and Queen of Pain. Very difficult to do. They went for it. I don't blame them going for it, but unfortunately, that kill just didn't go their way.
Top lane, the tri lane, pretty much staying as stable as possible and just keeping the momentum going, trying to get some damage done to this tier 2. Bottom lane, S4 sticking it out against Yoku, and Yoku needs to be careful now. Yoku, because S4's chasing him down, he's got a Sonic Wave and a Scream here. I think this Clockwork could be in trouble if he wants to go for this kill. Nah, he's going to leave it now with the TP's coming in. TP's been cancelled though. S4 sees that as a sign to go. And there we go with the ultimate. Will find the kill. Now the TP's coming in at the same time. There's a bit of a fight going on mid. It was actually Resolution trying to go towards the bottom lane, but he TP's out in front of the tower and Secret. They're just going to capitalize on that, and they will bring down Leshrac as well. And that was a very, very ballsy position to be TPing in.
That was incredible decision-making from S4, where he went in after the TP was cancelled, and then even when Leshrac's TPing, that's a long TP because that's the TP add-on time still counts when you've cancelled a TP. So that was a 4-second TP from Leshrac, and Arteezy says, "Okay, easy double triple raise in mid lane with the help of Witch Doctor," and they kill Lesh before he can even get the TP in bottom lane. So really smart play and decision-making from Team Secret.
Indeed, coming up to 10 minutes, let's have a look at the net worth of these individual heroes. The top two at the moment are both S4 and Arteezy. Closely followed, though, by Leshrac. Zai's farm is looking very healthy as well, and in terms of cause, it's just really this Gyrocopter Silent, who hasn't really been able to find that much 10 minutes into the game.
And again, Secret just seem to have farm on all their heroes. Hookshot top misses, and Secret can just get back to safety. They're gonna actually get some kills off this. Always gonna fly on Bane in a lot of trouble.
Kuroki moving in here with the right clicks. There's going to be a bit of a backup coming in as Yoku pops down the cogs. Arteezy, he's got a haste rune. He might want to try and do something with this. Silence going to pop down the cooldown. Will connect onto Zai and Arteezy, who do back themselves up. The Lightning Storm flying for as well. Now with the split up onto Zai, they will be able to bring down the Dirge. Now Death Ward is being popped down by Kuroki. The damage is too much. Resolution will pop. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Can they turn it into anything more here, Secret? They're diving deep. Arteezy, he's just going right in here onto Always Want to Fly. And they're going to head south now instead. Silent and Arteezy there. With the Requiem, it didn't really do much there. They might still find the kill onto Silent, though. The bounces between Aloha Dance and Silent, holding in place for a bit of time. Kuroki trying to move himself in, but it looks like they won't find anything more there, and it will just be a 1-for-1 between the two sides.
Okay, bit of an odd fight, but like you say, 1-for-1. Leshrac going down the big thing, and being a snowball hero, killing off a Leshrac just counts for so much there. You don't mind losing your Undying if you're killing a high priority hero like the Leshrac. So that's where Secret come out on top once more. Didn't find the follow-up kills they were maybe hoping for with the Arteezy haste rune on Shadow Fiend, and not the most high impact Requiem coming out, but it seemed like more a defensive Requiem just to cover his retreat. He was just zoning heroes out because he was so low on HP, and he's like, oh crap, I've actually overextended here, let's just throw a Requiem to make sure I stay safe.
On top lane, Zai just backing away as Resolution was coming in there looking for the split up. Empire, they're sending is Silent and Always Want to Fly. That's Secret. Looks like they're playing it safer. They don't want to keep themselves around here on this top lane. They're aware that Empire are going to be looking for more. Yoku himself smoked up, and he does have that hook shot available, so he's going to be looking for action. Arteezy's backing up, playing a bit safer now, just looking to farm out some of these camps. And S4 himself with the Rover the Magi looking to build towards what I'd imagine be that Orchid. But he is still a fair way away of it. He's top of the net worth at the moment, 4.6k, and in terms of difference between the teams, we're seeing about a 7,500 favouring the side. And, well, Silent is going to try for a solo kill here onto Zai. Zai will drop down the tombstone. There's going to be a wraparound from Empire. Resolution. Oh, he's just walked into 3 of them. Resolution goes down. And, that was not the play for Empire. Arteezy, he's got himself another haste rune. Silent will look for the TP out. The race is going to be enough. No, they won't. Silent will be able to get out. And at the same time, S4, looking for Yoku. He has got the ultimate, but he realizes it won't be enough damage. We'll save it. But again, Empire, they're looking for the plays, but just at the wrong time and in the wrong place.
They've just missed most of their timings. Like, it felt like with Yoku getting such a fast level 6 and Leshrac dominating the mid lane for the first 5 minutes of the game, these two heroes should have been able to move around the map effectively and find kills for the team. You've got a hook shot into a level 8 Leshrac with stun, as well as Lightning Storm and Pulse Nova. That should have been an amazing combo to take fights around the map, but Secret have just read their movements well and always had a numbers advantage. They've always seemed to find themselves in 3v2 scenarios.
The Sonic Wave onto 3! The Fiend's just going to be there, though, and it looks like Empire are going to be the ones, in fact, to come out on top of this one. And they've found 3. They're going to find Arteezy as well. It's only Puppy left alive here. It looks like he'll get away, but even with that beautiful Sonic Wave, Empire just destroying Secret in that fight, 4 for nothing, and a gold swing of over 4,000 difference, and coming up to 4k in terms of XP. These are the kind of fights that we saw Empire take in the early game in the previous match, and off the back of that, they managed to lead it into swinging it around and taking the game. I mean, Secret, they need to be very careful when they give away trades like that one.
Yeah, Yoku had been very quiet. In fact, he'd been completely silent. That's his first kill of the game. as he hooks in and gets a nice little setup off of that. So that's the start of something for Team Empire. They were really far behind before that fight. Being down 7.5k gold at 12 minutes in is a big deficit, but they make up for some of that and see what Secret's next move is, because that was maybe a bit uncharacteristic for Team Secret to find themselves in a position where it's such a bad team fight goes their way.
Yeah, absolutely. Secret need to be careful. They do still have the two heroes on the top of the board. Arteezy. He's got himself that Gloves of Haste here, and what's he going for with this one, eh? Hey, gods. I mean, is it the Maelstrom, or are we going to see the Arteezy Midas this game?
We're going to see the Arteezy Midas,
yep.
I think. I think Secret are going to look to secure the late game with the SF, and also just not feel like they need like anything. Like, I guess, is Coddle going for the mech? What's Coddle got? Coddle's got, yeah, Keeper of the Light is going for the mech, so they can push even with the Midas online because they've got someone else going for the mech. And this just means SF can level faster, can just make sure that you have a backup plan should this 5-man push not work as effectively as you'd like it to.
There we go. Smoke up now from the side of Secret. And as you said, with the mech now picked up by Puppey, they've got a bit of a surprise edge. At the same time, Empire, they're heading towards the mid lane. Who can make the jump here? Resolution, he could be the first to call out. They do have everything available, bar the cooldown. Cooldown's going to be online in a couple of seconds as well. They don't have a... Yep, Sonic Wave in 5 seconds. This is time to go.
Secret don't have like an initiating hero. They've got no blink stunner, they've got no way to start a fight, they've got no clockwork.
Oh, silent.
But they are going to find Gyrocopter.
He's a little bit too far out here, and indeed he'll get the cooldown off, but the mech's going to be popped. The damage is too much, and S4, with the help of his team, able to take down Silent. A little bit greedy there with his positioning.
Yeah. Well, they say we haven't got any stuns, but we'll just use Blinding Light and Shadow Strike to slow you down and push you back into us, so... This is the only way Secret really find kills is when they have like a smoke gank where there's like a 3v1 or a 4v1 because they can't really fight around their lack of disables unless they're going for the full 5-man push with their mech, which is likely going to be their next move for them. They want this T1 mid tower. They're swarming all around the Bane.
Indeed, they're wrapping around onto the Bane, but at the same time, Empire, they're wrapping around onto the Shadow Fiend. Who's going to come out top of this fight? Tombstone drops to the middle of it, because you always want to fight with a Fiend script there, holding back the core, but at the same time, Requiem of Souls comes out. Yoka will be able to keep himself away with the cogs, and the side of Empire, they do actually end up finishing off S4. They get the deny as well onto Bane. It will be a 1-for-1 with the deny on Bane as well, on top of that, as Leshrac does die. And now Secret, they'll look to take a tower off the back of this with 2 heroes down. Cooldown comes out from Silent, trying to stop the push as well with his fortification. But all in all, even though it's a very nice Fiend script there, holding the Quap in place, Secret still come out on top, and with the double damage, they're going to make quick work of this tower.
Arteezy just seems to have a high impact rune like every time there's a fight. 2 haste runes, now a DD rune. He's making plays happen. Needs to be careful, here comes a flank though. Waiting on cooldown perhaps, that's not going to be out for another 25 seconds though, so... They just have to fight without it. It's so much heal in Team Secret.
Yoki really wants to do something here, and he's going to need to do it now. Oh, correct, but Steffel, but straight away the battery assault. Yoki's going to be able to cancel that. The cogs coming out as well. The blinding light actually bursting them outside of the cogs, which is going to mean that they're going to lose some of the mana. The side of Secret still wanting to fight, though. They're looking for a low hard dance using the core right in the middle of this. He's trying to make the steals happen. It's not going to work. They'll lose both Silent and a low hard dance. And Empire, off the back of that, they may just lose another tower here in the mid lane as Secret, as you said, with the amount of sustain they've got, and now jumping onto Resolution, this is going to be big, and yes, they can take him down. He's down for 45 seconds. They also always want to fly here on the Bane. Secret suddenly just jumping on Empire, and Empire, they're crumbling.
Yeah. I like the Rubik play. It was pretty cheeky coming out from Aloha Dancer. He stole the Spirit Form on Keeper of the Light and and he had Recall as well as Blinding Light as a result, but those aren't teamfight winning spells. Team Secret have great AoE damage output, huge sustain and heals with the mech, as well as the Urn now up on the Witch Doctor, as well as the Voodoo Restoration, which is up to level 3. And they're just grouping up, taking down towers one by one. And Arteezy now, he got the Midas, and suddenly he's just about to finish off a BKB. You win a fight like that, you get 2 towers, and you get this Midas, and it's not even like your BKB feels all that slow because of how quickly they just won a couple of fights.
Indeed, and if we look at the net worth graph now, up to 12k advantage in terms of gold. XP-wise, it's coming over 7.5k. But of course, we saw Empire swing back a lead around this in the previous match, so they've still got a chance, but they've got to be careful about throwing away these kills and always want to fly. Oh dear, he's got the Nightmare. It's not going to be enough. The side of Secret finding a very easy pick off there on the Bane.
Yeah, Secret, I don't they go higher. They may just look to force some TPs back towards his top tier 3 tower and just chip away at it, but they're looking for a kill at mid lane. Yoku gets the Cogs, looking for the TP out, but that's a DD rune. Decay just barely survives. That Cogs hit saving his life, I believe.
Ooh, telekinesis onto Puppey, bring him up to the high ground. Cole, he will have the meg. It's not going to be enough. Puppey will drop here on the Keeper of the Light.
There's a TP bottom lane. Actually has to cancel it. As Resolution brings on the tier 1 tower, and Zai says, I do not want to fight the Leshrac.
16 to 8 at the moment. The gold swing continuing. It's now kind of rounding off around this 12k. And that pick off from Puppey there, helping the side of Empire even it out. And they're going to need to find something big here. Resolution. Indeed, just finding what he can here from the Radiant jungle.
And just looking at his net worth, 6k to the 10.5k of Shadow Fiend. This is where I think a lot of people in this patch came out were saying they're putting a lot of emphasis on the laning stage and just hero killing in general. I mean, hero killing I think does have a lot of influence, but the laning stage itself, the first 5 minutes, doesn't decide all that much. You look at where these two mid laners stand right now, and it was Arteezy with like 8 CS to the 25 CS of Leshrac at one point. This was a very one-sided mid lane matchup with the early CS, and that was also with Arteezy not having the jungle sacks to fall back to as well, but he still made up for it and just teamfighted really well and moved around the map. I mean, part of it was the 2 haste runes allowing him to find some extra kills, finding some towers along the way as well, but it just goes to show there's so much catch-up potential for these core heroes like Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a reason why we see, but I think Empire pretty much did the job. So we're banning out the Shadow Fiend from Arteezy because he's just been having such a performance, so there's going to be the leak here. Arn's always want to fly. He's got a fair bit of mana on how with the Arcane Boots just popping them to create that extra space so he can get out. He will escape, but Empire, they need something big. Obviously, they're still yet to see Secret break the high ground, and that's always a tricky spot, and maybe the point where Empire are able to make a massive jump on them and look to swing it around. And hookshot now on S4. Do they have to lock down with the battery so he can't quite get the blink off? Now he does. They just don't have the control without the rest of the team there to catch out S4 straight away.
That Orchid prevented, I think, saved him from the Fiend's grip. I'm not sure if he could have blinked out instead of using the Orchid, but that would have been very close. Always want to fly. Tried to get the grip off after the hookshot, but nicely played by S4. And the big thing for Secret is here, they want to take both towers at bottom. They also want to take down Roshan before they push high ground, but they don't want to do... Like, they don't want to just 5-man push bottom and give up towers at top. If they're giving up a tier 1 tower to the Gyrocopter up top, it's not really worth it for them to be pushing bottom lane, but they're defending with Keeper of the Light while they push. This is very efficient use of their resources as they leave Puppey top. They don't have a mech at bottom. Empire could theoretically look to take a fight here with Keeper of the Light not here with no mech available, but they know there's no hookshot. Hookshot's on cooldown for 20 more seconds, so Secret had that little buffer window where they could take down that tier 1 tower even without Keeper of the Light there.
And the gold lead is certainly starting to stabilize now with this passive point at the game, and I mean, just looking at the lineup, so you know the fact that we've got coming up to 8k gold on the Gyro. Silence still got a quite a way to go before he can kind of go toe-to-toe with the lineup of Team Secret. Just the fact that R2 at the moment coming to 12k gold. Hang on, that's maybe a kill. No, there's going to be the hookshot there. The Sonic Wave comes out though onto Resolution. The soul burn damage isn't going to be enough to take him down. Blink out. Arteezy with a Requiem for the sidelines. Leshrac will fall. S4 trying to run himself away from Yoku here. Arteezy, oh no! Oh, the creep!
Why?
The Satyr with the deny. Oh,
Arteezy
Empire
actually did everything he could to save him. Arteezy hit the double raise, saved his life from the clockwork, and then suddenly Queen of Pain's S4's like, sweet, I lived, and then the shockwave comes in. That's some serious spite there. I guess Empire will take anything they can get. The neutrals will help them, they'll take it.
Well, Zai does just drop a tombstone there in case anything kicks off, but well, it wasn't the case, as there was a quick TP out there from the bottom lane. As I imagine, as he found his Blink Dagger, yeah, there we go. He's just found his Blink Dagger now, low hard dance. So maybe we can see the plays come out from this Rubik player. Obviously, Rubik, one of the heroes that Aloha Dance is known for making some incredible things happen on, and they're certainly going to need it this game. Empire trying to hold themselves in for this series, trying to bring it to a game 5.
Yeah, not going for the Ag Scepter this time around, the Blink Dagger instead, and it does feel like he needs it. They haven't had enough insta follow-up like when they catch out someone like the Queen of Pain. The Bane has to be in such close proximity that having a Blink Telekinesis may allow them to pick off heroes like Queen of Pain, or whoever it may be. It feels like they need that insta follow-up for the clockwork.
Silent, they go in, they found the lift and the Fiend's grip onto Arteezy, but he's going to be kept alive here for the time being. Will he go down? He will. That's a massive kill. And now Empire, maybe this is the fight that they're looking for. Silent BKB up. He's trapped Croaky, the tree line with the rocket barrage and the right clicks. They bring him down. It's a double kill for the side of Empire. Zai trying to fight with the two-step. The decay is not enough. He'll drop as well. It's a 3 for nothing. Aloha dance. He may be the only. Oh no! Oh, there we go. It does tick down now. And S4 trying to clean up in return, but there's going to be a nightmare onto Queen of Pain. They're trying to move in close. They're looking for a potential Earth Spike. He's been topped off by Puppey with a split Earth there onto the Cottle. They'll find another kill. It's going to be a 4 for 1 for the side of Empire. And gods, I've got to say, this is a little bit of a reminiscence of what we saw in the last game, where Empire just seemed to turn up to these fights 20 or so minutes into the game and prove that they've got what it takes to take Secret down.
They're just so good at team fighting. They're getting... They have the item disadvantage. There's a BKB on Shadow Fiend, but they use their positioning and just they execute so well. They got the smoke gank off. They killed the Shadow Fiend before he can use the BKB, and there was nothing Secret could do to turn that fight around. It looks like Secret tried to also take that fight at the tier 1 mid, but couldn't get everybody there in time. S4 was on the high ground with a Sonic Wave available.
Oh, S4, he jumps in there onto Yoki, doesn't want to follow that one up. And Gold Swing as well after that. We are going to see it head back towards the side of Empire. And we were talking earlier about the fact that Silent, he was a bit behind Arteezy. He's still a good 2,000 behind, but he's certainly closing the gap between those two heroes.
Oh yeah, and this is where things get a bit more stressful for Secret. They'll remember how game number 3 went when they had that 10 to 15k gold lead, and there's a similar story here in game 4, and Empire have found one fight to go their way. Off of that, Leshrac completes Bloodstone. They're going to have Clockwork with a Blade Mail and some good change on top of that. Everything looking a whole lot more stable in general for Empire. Gyrocopter Silence starting to pack a punch. He picks up a Demon Edge and has 2.2k gold, so this Gyrocopter carry is starting to become a realistic possibility.
Indeed, Silent trying to take this tier 1 here. The side of Secret, though, they smoke up, and they want to use this time to take Roshan. Now, the question is, can they contest it? They're going to have a Rocket Flare flying through, but with the speed that side of Secret are doing this, it looks like Empire won't be able to get themselves there. And so maybe with a hook shot, they could go for a little bit of a play. It's getting low.
I don't think you want to go for this. It's not worth... It's like a less than 10% chance. Look at Zai's positioning is to block the hook shot so that they can secure Aegis and everything. That was like a less than 10% chance you get the Aegis steal. I would say closer to like 2% maybe. So, good discipline not to go for it.
Indeed. Let's have a look at how the graphs are kind of settled out. So we're seeing at about 4,000 XP lead now. Gold-wise about 6k, so at this point in the game, Empire certainly feeling a lot more comfortable than they did in the earlier portions.
Arteezy about to finish up a Guardian. That's like an item, if he had that last team fight, maybe he would have been tanky enough to survive the chain stun, the Fiend's grip, and everything that burst him down before he could BKB. So this will be an item that will help him out quite a lot once he completes it. And it looks like he's just about 300 gold short of it as he farms up this last Ancient stack. Well, not even stack, just these Ancients to kind of get there.
All right, Kuroki looks like he's going to be going for that Glimmer Cape here. He's picked up the old Amulet Resolution, just clearing out this wave here, trying to hold Secret back. As again, this is going to be one of those games where I wouldn't be surprised if we see it get as close and frantic as Game 3 did the series.
Yeah, I could see, and this is not going to be an easy high ground siege for Secret. Empire have a great lineup for defending high ground with Cool Down, Fade Bolt, Leshrac Lightning Storm. Even just Clockwork can kind of block the ramp with the cogs and be such a big threat as an initiator that I think it'll deter Secret from maybe even going for that high ground siege. Even with Aegis in hand, it's still very risky for Secret, I feel.
Oh, Resolution, he's going to get caught out by the Orchids. Zai getting 4-star forward as well. They're now bringing him back here as Puppey blasts him towards the team. They will be able to find the pick-off onto Resolution, and maybe that's what they needed here to look for a high ground push. They've still got this Aegis, of course, onto Arteezy, and they're ready to try and break the base here, gods.
Yeah, all it takes is a pick-off, though. I mean, I don't think in a 5v5 scenario they'd be in a good position to do so, but one pick-off, and suddenly Empire's defense crumbles.
There we go, of course, with the Bloodstone Leshrac, he is going to be back up. And let's see what he can do. Looks like with that Secret playing a little bit more careful. Arteezy just coming in for a couple of hits. They do have the Resolution Leshes. Silent He's got the completed MKB bar as well, so...
Stolen Illuminate's pretty handy as well for Aloha Dance. He's just been spamming that on the creep wave. If it wasn't hard enough to push as it was already, put an Illuminate in the mix.
There we go. Secret just taking away the Ancients here. And at this point, I mean, Empire, are they kind of safer sticking it out and waiting for Secret to come to them, or do you think we could see Empire smoke up some time and look for a fight themselves outside of the base?
I don't think they do so with the Aegis online. I think it's kind of a silly move because there's if they smoke into Shadow Fiend, they're not killing him. They'll kill him once, and by the time he respawns, his team's there. There's a Sonic Wave being dropped. There's a Tombstone. There's Witch Doctor cast. There's a Death Ward, and suddenly Empire losing the fight. The only way I could see a smoke play working is if they find a pickup from someone like Queen of Pain, and then they avoid the Shadow Fiend at all costs. But it seems very high risk and unnecessary. So I think more likely they'll wait for the Aegis to expire before they go for their next smoke or their next big movement on the map.
Let's have a look at the graph now as well. It's going back towards Secret. After that little bit of a push there. And it's 30 minutes in, 20 to 13. In terms of the lineups, just looking at the actual heroes themselves, who do you feel is going to be a lot stronger in the late game? Oh, bottom lane. Oh, he's on a fly. He's trying to CP out. He's not going to make it. He does go down.
I think if you go really late and the teams are looking kind of close on farm, I favor Empire just because they've got the better lockdown and disables. I think late game Dota is very reliant on having these big lockdown spells, and having Bane with a Fiend script, he's got a BKB Fiend script that can't be interrupted. That's huge for your team. That's one of the secret cores, either the Queen of Pain or the Shadow Fiend, being dealt with in a fight. You've got Clockwork Hookshot, which can also disrupt through a BKB. So if Empire can get to late game with a farm Gyrocopter and Leshrac, they're looking good. The problem is they may get to late game and be behind by 15 to 20k gold, and that to me is going to be a problem. That's where Secret will have the better late game just by item advantage.
And yeah, here we go. Secret, they're going to look to take this tier 2, and looks like they'll get it. A sign at the same time. He's going to be able to find a tier 2 potential of his own. This is going to be the fortification coming out. And it looks like they want to defend this. Here we go. S4 blinking forward here. He's got the S4 in, but it might not matter because Silent turns around with the help of Aloha Dance, and they'll blow up the quad. They will find this tier 2, and that's S4 down for 60 seconds.
That's just smart Empire play. Secret just got baited into that one. Aloha Dance was there waiting. He's been so patient. He's been sitting in the trees. Like 5 minutes ago, I saw him sitting in the trees on the left side of the map, waiting for a similar kind of play, and he says, okay, it didn't work before, let's just wait till it works this time. And they thought that's a Gyrocopter solo pushing, but Empire completely baited him in.
Oh, Puppey brings in Arteezy now with the Requiem onto Silent. They're going to work here, trying to bring him down. They'll find the Gyrocopter. Aloha did steal the Requiem, wasn't able to do too much with it. Ends up just TPing away. But Puppey there with the setup and bringing in his buddies, bringing in his pals, and Arteezy just blowing up Silent.
You fool Puppey once, you're not going to fool him again. This time around, Gyro did not have a BKB, and Secret knew that. They bring in the SF, and it's like, look, dude, Arteezy, you just blow this guy up with a Requiem. He's got no BKB, he can't stop the damage, and Gyrocopter cannot fight the Shadow Fiend, not with that big of an HP deficit.
Not at all. S4 now will have the BKB completed on this quad. So when we see him going for those fights like we did there on the top tower, he's going to be in a lot of a safer position. Arteezy now with the Daedalus, picking up that damage. Opting for the Daedalus over the Butterfly. Imagine this situation, of course, due to the fact that MKB has already been picked up by Silent, and well, with the Daedalus, he's going to be punching in these fights.
You're correct on that, and this will really tempt Gyrocopter into a Butterfly, but Gyrocopter just doesn't have the farm to really start picking up these tier 4 items quickly like Arteezy is. Arteezy, a full kind of 6,000 net worth ahead of him and some, so with that, Secret maybe just going to position and posture themselves to take the next Roshan and go for another high ground siege. They want to get some good vision up. They maybe even want to consider picking up a gem to deward the map and take out some of the dire vision, but also waiting on their next couple of items. Puppey's been working on an Ag Scepter for some time. He's only about 1,500 gold away, so I think Secret still have a few more items and timings that they can try and hit before Empire get too scary, especially with that kill on the Gyrocopter. It really slows down Empire's development towards the late game. Yeah,
indeed, absolutely. Even with that swing round back for the side of Empire, Secret have pretty much been able to patch that back up, and they're still very much maintaining control of this game with about a 12k gold lead coming up, and XP-wise around the 12k mark as well. And hello, Resolution. He's got an Invis rune. He is all alone here, though. The rest of Empire are making their way over. But could he set him up? Oh, there's a sentry. There's a sentry. Resolution. He will go. Oh, he's got the suicide, but still. That sentry that happened to be there for the Radiant, working very much in their favor there, allowing them to force Resolution to sign himself to the ground.
Yeah, I'm not completely unexpected that there would be a sentry there. With how deep Gyrocopter was pushing earlier when they killed off Queen of Pain, and Rubik was there. You know Rubik's there. You're expecting Rubik to be the support who's warding. So you're expecting him to either have a lane ward or a cliff ward. Both spots have been sentry.
And again.
Easy. Okay,
Yeah.
too easy.
I mean, Aloha does, he did
There's
get
the
off the Requiem onto Puppey, but the fact that every time Puppey just drawing people in, and then he's like, yeah, I'm not alone here. And then suddenly Arteezy joins him by his side.
Puppey's just been the master beta this game. He's just bringing in Empire time and time again. And Empire just giving him free kills, or giving Arteezy free kills, as it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier, the lead that Arteezy's got on top of Silent. There was a point where Silent was closing in. It was only about 2k in it, but now the fact you look at the board, and it's reaching over 8,000 difference now. It's a massive difference between these two heroes at this point, 35 minutes in.
Yeah, and Arteezy's not slowing down. This is where the Midas has well and truly paid off. He finds a courier even to add salt to the wound. As he's got 3.5k gold. He could sell the Midas soon if he wants to, pick up another big tier 4 item. Probably wants to use it at least once more, but things going very, very well for Arteezy especially.
And again, Puppey with the bait. It brings Silent out now with the Sonic Wave of the punches. That's going to be your Gyrocopter going down. He does have buyback available, but it looks like Secret, they might find Resolution here as well. S4's got a double damage rune. The hookshot from Yoku flying through. Kuroki throws out the casket. The Death Ward coming down onto Yoku. Will he be able to bring down? No, he's going to live. Arteezy just goes straight up to the high ground here with a blink, and he's cleaning up the shop. Silent's going to go down as well. That is indeed a dieback from the Gyro. Looks like they're going to lose Resolution here as well. He does have buyback available. He gets forced off towards them. He will go down. GG is called, ladies and gentlemen. Your winners here at the Mars TV Dota 2 League. It is Team Secret who take away $100,000. Empire in second will settle for 50 grand. And what a final series, gods. Empire proving that they could take a game against Secret, but at the end of the day, Secret were just too damn good.
Yeah, I think Secret showing that they may be, right now with their current form, the best team in the world. They've won 3 back-to-back lands. 2 of those against some